Good afternoon. This is Catherine Kimball with an energy update for post-Mercury retrograde. I'm joined by my guides, Locks and Saoirse. They would like me to pull a couple of cards from a couple different decks, so let's get started. I'm gonna start here. Messages on what to focus on now that Mercury retrograde is over. Yay. Welcome to my house that is fake clean. Most of the mess is behind the counters so that you can't see it. Deal with the mess later. Right. Okay. First messages on what to be focusing on, what to be aware of now that Mercury retrograde is over. I'm going to pulling two cards. Let's see what we're getting. Ocean of emotion. And build-in breaks. All right, let's look at what those. First up, got Ocean of Emotion here, number 28. Very beautiful. Might need to think about some of the emotions coming up that have been freed now that time is actually moving again. All right. Okay, so your emotions are your friends. Let's not bottle them up. Let them flow. Feel everything. We came here to feel emotions, go through experiences. The more you block and try to hold everything in because you think you have to present a strong front to the public, it doesn't serve your best and highest good to not feel things. Your insides, your heart center feels all that it needs to feel. So make sure you allow them to pass and internalize all of your feelings. And it will make you stronger. If you need to meditate, okay, we're getting messages of meditation. Sit in silence. Observing your emotions. So when something comes up that you're maybe afraid of, if you feel like crying and you don't know why, or you do know why, and you just don't want to let it out, observe how those feelings feel, which sounds, okay, that's great. Good job, Catherine. When you're feeling anxious, step outside of yourself a little bit and just talk out loud to yourself. Say, I am feeling anxious. Where is this coming from? How can I let this pass without letting it take over all of my body and brain, and I can't think, and all the crazy energy that's flowing through you? Take a step back, take a breath, allow it to be. Allow the anxiety to sit there for a minute. Talk yourself through what's happening and why. It helps to sort of dig deeper into the roots of, where our trauma is, where our wounding is, where we're giving away our power. And again, allow those emotions to pass through you, feel them, acknowledge them, and don't let them hold power over you if they're not serving you in the moment. Um, any other advice on feelings? Observing and perceive. Okay, so the difference between observing and perceiving. I've come to think of it as I perceive emotions. I feel the anxiety that's in my body. I'm feeling it. I perceive it in my cortisol levels and my tense muscles. I that is perceiving an emotion. Observing an emotion is when you are stepping into the role of looking at yourself from outside and talking out loud, saying, "Yes, I am, this body is experiencing anxiety. Are you okay in this moment? Yes or no? That's fine. You can not be okay. You're allowed." Just kind of get in touch with yourself and observe what's happening and talk yourself through how to let the emotions pass. Um, and don't beat yourself up over all of this. You're a human being. Your soul came down into this body to experience life on this planet at this time. And anxiety is a program that we're all sort of scheduled to feel at a certain point in our lives. And if that's what you're feeling now, it's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Drink a glass of water. Imagine the water sort of cleansing, if that helps you. If it doesn't, there are other methods, but what I do is I just drink some water. At least it hydrates me, even if I'm feeling like total shit. Um, I just picture it washing away all of the bad, icky, making room for the good post anxiety feelings. All right, the second card we got up here is build in breaks, number 15. I love this artwork. All right, let's look at some of this advice for 15. I think again, this is going to be tied in. Okay, yeah, we're tying it in with feeling these emotions. So now that Mercury retrograde is over, we've been stuck kind of reviewing things from the past. Several months, maybe years, whatever it is. The retrograde always comes around and has us review things that we've recently gone through. That's why X's show up out of the blue, or you're thinking about, um, I don't know, events that happened a few months ago or a couple years ago, whatever the past is. You're meant to sort of reevaluate and revisit some of those past experiences to move forward. So now that we're moving forward, we might be feeling a lot more emotions. Ocean of emotions. Um, let them come. Don't judge them. Just let them be there, and start to maybe observe why they're here and what what they can teach you. So we're building in breaks to sort of deal with some of these emotions that we're having. Um, and again, building in those breaks help us pause to, you know, get rid of some of that judgment when we're moving fast and trying to get everything done and all the things. We don't. Our tendency is to just say, "Oh, that's bad," or "Oh God, we can't do that," and then we are full of even more blockages, and it just doesn't help us out. So build in when you're feeling something that you might not want to feel, or thinking about things you don't really want to think about. Just take a break. Um, if you can, try and get some alone time. I know it's hard for some people, and that's understandable. just try to do your best, even if it's in the bathroom, in the shower, um, right before you're falling asleep at night, whatever time you can get for yourself, to just sort of process what's happening, what you're feeling, why. Um, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. You are allowed to take naps. I know, again, sometimes it's not always possible. I rarely take naps, and I know that they're good for you, and I still can't do it. My brain keeps going, and I can't make it quit. Um, and it's hard to force, for lack of a better word, it's hard to force yourself to stop. Um, it's okay to stop. Um, if you feel resistant, okay, let's see what else is in here. Yeah, be nice to yourself. Have some ice cream. Do something for yourself that feels good, because we're feeling resistance on now that time is kind of feels like it's moving a little bit faster. Um, we might be putting on the brakes to try and not go through whatever we're supposed to be going through. Um, it's all right. You can fantasize about quitting. I do it all the time. um, put your head under the covers. Just again, build in some brakes to just sort of take a moment and understand what your body is going through and why. Okay, do we have any insight on any of that I haven't said already? Getting more messages of meditation. I know, guys, meditation can sometimes just be like, I don't want to meditate. Why would I meditate? It's hard. Why would I try and force myself to do this? If you've never done it before, or you've had trouble in the past, or you have mental blockages about, I'm not going to meditate, totally understandable. I've been through all of that myself. It took me a long time, and it's only been a recent thing where I'm actually able to um, sit down for a few minutes and breathe. I hold my little labradorite crystal, sort of have something to hold on to, and rub my thumb across if I need to, just sort of remind myself to sit here and breathe. Um, let it just try, just show up, even if it's for 1 minute. It took me a while to build up to. I just sort of do whatever feels good at the time. Sometimes I'm trying to do this before work, and I only have 10 minutes, or I only have 5 minutes, and any amount that you can just sit quietly. I just sit in my chair, feet on the floor, hands on my lap, palms facing up, to sort of receive the wisdom of the universe if I can. Um, and just kind of count your breaths. In for 4, out for 8. And just keep a mental count. If you lose count, that's okay too. You're breathing. You are allowing space for feelings to dissipate if you don't want to feel those feelings. Connect with that earth, man. It is hippie vibes over here right now. Put your feet on the floor and just imagine roots coming out and connecting with the core of the earth. She will give you energy. She will give you light. She wants you to feel okay. Accept, accept the help. We we don't have to do this alone. We're all in it together, and the earth is here to help us remember that this is a game. It's okay. Life is a game. We are human avatars, and we're just getting through the best that we can. Um, we just need to be open to things that are happening. Okay, so those are, we're doing emotions, feeling them, not judging them, building in breaks to sort of let everything process in our bodies. Our minds don't have to catch up yet. They're constantly doing their own thing. You're going to feel it in your body first, and then your brain is going to register. Let it happen. All right. Now we're doing two cards. Okay. 2 cards from our lovely Galactic Heritage deck. This one's always a fun one to shuffle. There's a lot in here. All right. I love this deck. Okay. We're going to do 2 cards, please, on messages for post-Mercury retrograde. Let's see. 2 messages for post-Mercury retrograde. Oh, that is way more than 2. Okay. 2 messages. Oh. Desperation. That's fine. Here we go. One more message for post-Mercury retrograde. Again, a little bit more than 2 here. Let's try that. One more pass. One more message for post-Mercury retrograde. Okay. Let's see what we've got. First up, a little bit of desperation. All good, all good. We all feel it. We're definitely connecting this with emotions. Again, time moving fast. Facing things we are just maybe not wanting to face. Yep. Oh, okay. This is very good. So for desperation, this 33 might be a sync for some of you. And connected to the taking breaks and the ocean of emotions, try not to make decisions in a desperate state of mind. I know it can be very difficult. It's hard for us if we need to make a split-second decision, it's very difficult to, again, force a break, for lack of a better word, force a break to just try and process as best we can before we make a decision. The advice here is to wait, observe the situation, and then make your decision. People can wait. They can wait. If somebody is trying to hound you for an answer for something, take your sweet time and make the decision when you can. Make them wait. Make them have their own energetic burden of waiting for you. You take your own energy back and you make your decision when it feels right, so that you know you're making a decision from a place where you're giving an answer that will serve your highest and greatest good. We all want to just have the easiest path forward, and taking time to think about things before we say one way or another if we're going to do it or how we're going to do it, that will help us. Okay. Let me just read a little bit more about the advice on this. Oh man, it's all connected to emotions. Post-Mercury retrograde, we're dealing with emotions. This is good. This is why we're here. We're supposed to feel things. We're supposed to learn from all of our emotions. Okay. Yeah, it's just, this card is asking us to look at our lives and how we make decisions. It's taking a moment, taking a breath. When we breathe, It helps clarify so many things. I don't know if you've ever noticed when you're in a situation at work or with family or even by yourself, if you're in a confrontation, uh, you end up holding your breath a lot of times. I know I do. I don't know if you do, but just try and observe again um, when something when you're in a situation where you're feeling very uptight and you're just being confronted with someone else's shit. Um, breathe. Remember to breathe. Try to not hold your breath. You don't have to go. That's not necessary. You can if you want. But just sort of quietly remember to put air in your lungs and breathe out. And you will pretty quickly see that the situation dissipates. The tension, the anxiety, it helps move the situation forward so we're not stuck in a place of high tension. When you breathe, it just keeps the momentum going. And you can take your time to make a decision and get through the situation. Remember to breathe. Yeah, just make sure you're making decisions from a healthy place, not out of desperation. I know it's hard. We're not judging ourselves for these emotions and these actions. We're human beings. Just be aware. Again, that observation. You can perceive how you're feeling in the moment of confrontation and stress and all of the other intense emotions, and then sort of observe by making sure your breath keeps going into your lungs and out of your lungs, and just see how that feels to deal with a situation that you normally would be holding your breath in. All right, the next card here is mental transformation. I'm going to look this one up because I don't have it memorized. All right. Okay, so Locks, one of my guides, is from Sirius, Sirius star system. Um, Again, if these messages don't resonate, totally fine. Take what does, leave what doesn't. Um, but so my Sirius Syrian guide is here to say, if you need help with a transition, with any transition you're going through, call out an SOS to a Syrian being. Just, are there any Syrian guides that can help me through the situation? Don't have to know their names. Just send it out in your thoughts. You can say it out loud. They will hear you. They will come and help you. Um, they love to help. Okay. They love to help humans. They're here because they love us. There are many different kinds of beings out there. We're just talking about, and they all love to help us. The ones that are here for our highest and greatest good. They want us to have as much help as they can give us. It helps them. It helps us. It's just we're all one. People, come on. It's more hippie vibes here. Let's. All right. Anyway, but yes, Syrians are very much love machines. They want to help us navigate transition, navigate emotions. Um, they want us to help. They want to help us open up our heart centers so that we're not feeling blockages. All of this opening up is just allowing more light to be in our bodies, and that helps us heal. And we are all here to heal a big chunk of trauma, basically. Um, we've taken it on, our souls have taken on whatever trauma and karma that we need to work through to help the collective in our ascension. So, what this card is asking is just to be truthful about your limiting beliefs. This is part of the mental transformation. In order to heal and get some of these blockages out of the way with our emotions that we're trying to bottle up and ignore, um, our spiritual, okay, 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 yeah. So we're here. The Syrian guides are here to help us with our limiting beliefs. And again, when a big emotion pops up, like anxiety or depression or um, anything that feels heavy and quote on bad. There's no bad or good. It's just, for lack of a better word, I'm going to say bad. Um, I personally do not enjoy feeling depressed or anxious or any of that. But that is part of my limiting belief, or has been, and I'm working on all of this. Um, None of this is bad, and I didn't see that for a very long time until very recently. It's just it's kind of like a message saying, what do I need to look at in myself that I can work on healing? Where did this depression come from? Um, what triggered it? And when I look at all the triggers, I can see that at the root of the onion, there's a particular event in my past that really it's coming up again. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. Everything that we need to revisit coming back to hit us again. We're out of that, but still, that's part of the process here. Um, just take a look at what is mentally some of your mental blocks. Um, what can what can feeling depressed teach us? Um, if you can, think about the good that comes from depression. I know it's. I still have plenty of mental blocks around. um, Self love is that okay? Um, yeah, a lot of my depression and anxiety comes around not loving myself enough. I didn't for a very long time. And depression now sort of when I when I fall back into it, um, I know again with the observing, I am perceiving slash feeling the depression, and it feels awful. But there's a part of my brain that can observe my body feeling the depression and knows that the reason it's triggering me is whatever event happened, whatever thought I had due to a confrontation with someone else or um, whatever triggered my depression. That's kind of like a beacon of light saying, okay, I don't feel good about myself right now. What can I do to sort of self parent myself into a cozy cocoon of healing? Um, I What advice do we have for that? Okay, baby steps. So think of it as baby steps. You don't have to just get over depression or anxiety. Um, just explore how it feels to shine some light, shine some light into your heart center. Just imagine when you're feeling awful and dark and gross, call out an SOS. Are there any Syrian guides here to help me with the mental transformation? Just ask it. You don't You don't have to have all the details, just general SOS. And then just sort of imagine a golden liquid light sort of just inside where your heart is. It might not help right away. It's not maybe not going to feel earth shattering. It's okay. Um, just allow it to come in. It might the depression and anxiety might pass a little quicker than it did last time. Maybe not, and that's okay. Again, don't beat yourself up over any of this. We are all just getting through the best we can. But just take a look at your mental to in order to transform mentally. We're just trying to look honestly at what the limiting beliefs we have about ourselves are and where they came from. And it's all just programming. We have been programmed to not like ourselves or to hold ourselves back because we don't, that happens to other people. Good things happen to other people. They don't happen to us or whatever it is. That is not true. And the Syrian guides are here to tell us that that is not true and that there is plenty of love, plenty of resources to go around. Our spiritual growth sort of gets accelerated when we can honestly examine those blockages. And everyone feels better after that. The work that you do to heal yourself uplifts the collective. So if you can't meditate for yourself, if you really just don't want to, keep in mind it will help other people as in addition to helping you. And if this doesn't resonate, that's totally fine. You'll come to it when you need to, or you won't when you won't. That's fine. But yeah, it's not a race. We're all in it together. You're gonna be okay. So there's that one, and we're gonna just draw one or two dragon cards. One dragon card. Okay. So we're going to see in this post-Mercury retrograde what dragons are here to guide us through post-Mercury retrograde. Dragons for post-Mercury retrograde. All these emotions, all these mental blockages and transformations. Oh, thank you. We've got emerald dragons. Beautiful, beautiful emerald dragons. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support divine perfection. All right. So this is healing. Again, it's Mercury retrograde, post Mercury retrograde. We're dealing with emotions, building in breaks to observe our emotions, take breaths to not make decisions out of desperation. We're all just trying to get through the day. Okay, so what are we doing? Emerald Dragon. Let me look. Okay. So the Emerald Dragons are here to help us heal. The Emerald Dragons work with Archangel Raphael, and they are in charge of the development of our lovely third eye. Got to wake those fuckers up. Get them open. The Emerald Dragons help clear our emotional body to leave us free to love, forgive, and open our hearts. So, all these messages post Mercury retrograde are all about emotions, not judging ourselves, learning the difference between perceiving, feeling the emotions that we have, and then observing that we're having these emotions. And observing helps us put in context what we need to bring in light to our bodies to heal. A lot of this is forgiveness of ourselves, big time forgiving ourselves. That is hard work. Um, been working on that, and it's tough, but there are beings, including emerald dragons and our guides from Sirius. They're here to help us love and to help us remember that it's okay to forgive ourselves. We are worth that. We are worth the love of self forgiveness. Um, all right. So, when you're feeling kind of crazy and you really just need some guidance, call out an SOS to a Syrian entity and just say, I need help with these mental blockages, these emotions. Help me observe my emotions in addition to perceiving them and feeling them. You can also call on the emerald dragons. Imagine a green light sort of flooding from your third eye area, just right here in the middle of your forehead. Imagine the green light sort of emanating from this spot and just kind of floating down to your heart center. Imagine it. You can draw a picture of it, you can write a poem about it, you can journal about it, you can meditate on it, whatever works for you to kind of call in that energy and feel it in your body. Again, it might not be earth shattering, and that is okay. A lot of this stuff is very gradual and incremental, and it's kind of hard for someone like me who wants things now. I've done the work, give me the results. Um, that's okay too. We're all just navigating as best we can. Um, so that is your energy update for post Mercury retrograde. Uh, got some emotions to deal with. When they come up, call in the Syrian guides and the emerald dragons to sort of help you take a breath. Keep breathing through any kind of confrontation with yourself or with other people. Keep the breath moving. Imagine these guides and dragons are holding you. They're energetically holding you, and that sort of seeps into your physical body, even if you're not. Um, even if you, again, if it's not earth shattering, it's okay. It's still working in your favor. They want to help us feel better in our ascension and spiritual development. uh, I hope you enjoyed the message. If not, that's okay. Maybe another one will resonate. Maybe this will resonate later. I appreciate you coming to my little TED Talk of energy updates, and I hope you have an excellent day. Uh, love you lots.